Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kelly Kitchen. How are you? How is everyone? I hope that I'm bright enough for you over here. It looks a little dark, but we'll just go with it. I'm so happy that you joined me. We've got some really great stuff going on the Kelly Kitchen tonight. Winging it a little bit. We're going to be making my chili dog chili, which we're going to do over Chaffles. And then we're going to make a pumpkin blondie. Yum, 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 you guys. Yes, it's going to be super, super fun. Hi, Julie and Kelly. And oh, who's that? Oh my gosh, so many new people. Hi, everyone. So as you know, I run a food blog called The Kelly Kitchen, the Kelly with an IE, kitchen.com. And you can find most of my recipes on my website. And if I don't have a recipe, it's because I'm working on it, but I'll get them to you as soon as I possibly can. If you have any questions or need any sort of support or help with keto, low carb, intermittent fasting, I'm your gal. So reach out to me and check out all the tips and tricks that I have on the website. We are going to get started because our pumpkin blondies take about 30 minutes in the oven. I've already got some stuff started here. I have got a cup of almond flour, and then I used Lecanto monk fruit sweetener, just the white classic, and I used a third of a cup of that. And then I used Lecanto brown monk fruit sweetener. And if you don't have the brown one, that's okay. Just double the white low carb sweetener, or you can use Swerve if you want. I tend to like the brown just because it gives it a little bit of a molasses flavor. And if you don't mind the extra carbs for that are in molasses, you can add just like a quarter of a teaspoon of molasses. And that should still keep your carbs kind of down. So in here, we've got all of our dry ingredients. The only thing I did not add in here was my pumpkin spice mix. You can get pumpkin spice already made at the supermarket, usually around this time of the year. It's in the spice aisle. If you can't find it, I have a recipe on my website, and it's just a mixture of nutmeg and cinnamon and cloves and allspice. And the recipe is on there, and I usually double or triple the recipe, and I just make a jar of it. So we're going to add a tablespoon of our pumpkin pie spice. And then basically I want to make sure that I get all of the lumps out of here. And we're going to mix all of those things together. I'm so happy to see everyone. Everyone's coming from all over the world. I've got Japan, and I've got Australia and New Zealand, and of course the good old US of A. So I'm getting all of my little lumps out here. There's only 3 things that make this batter wet because it is a blondie. So it's more of like a dense brownie, I guess you could call it, but it's a blondie. The 3 things that are going to get our pumpkin blondies wet are, we've got 2/3 pumpkin puree. This is not pumpkin pie filling. It is pumpkin puree, pure pumpkin. So it's not sweet at all. So we're going to add that. There's 2/3 of a cup there. And then this is kind of an interesting thing. So I originally made this recipe with peanut butter or with almond butter, but those have more of a nutty flavor to them. You can use peanut butter or almond butter, but they will give your pumpkin bars a little bit of a nutty flavor. So I use cashew butter. You can get it in most supermarkets. A little bit of cashew butter. It's all natural, so there's nothing else but cashews in here. It is slightly higher carbs, but it is a much more neutral taste. So that's what we add to our pumpkin blondies, so we can kind of take out that nutty flavor. So we're going to add that into, oh, hi, Puff. Hi, Shanna. We're going to add that in as our another wet ingredient into our mixture. And then we'll just add a single happy egg. Is going to go right into our mix there. Now, you guys know that last week I showed you my white chocolate chips, my Lily's white chocolate chips. Now, I was able to find them in the supermarket. I went to a really large Whole Foods, and they had them there, and they were on sale. So I bought 5 bags. Don't tell Peter. Shh. So that's, you know, I was able to find them there. If you don't find them in your supermarket, then easily find them online at Amazon.com. Do Amazon Prime, and they'll get there to you within a day. So I'm just mixing my batter together. It is a dense batter. It's not runny at all, but it smells like fall, and it's just lovely. I just want to make sure I get all those lumps of the almond flour or whatever other sweeteners I had in there. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of the Lily's white chocolate chips. There are 3 or 4 brands going around the low carb airways now, but I really like Lily's brand, and you can find them more often. And I got them on sale, so yay! So you're going to do a half a cup. We're going to just pour those right in. We'll fold them in, and after we're done baking, we're going to sprinkle a few more of the a few more of the low carb chips right on top, so that they just sort of look nicer, because they tend to melt into your Blondie mixture. So let's just put this right into our 8x8 parchment lined baking pan. I'm sure everyone has an 8x8 pan. I highly recommend getting parchment paper. It just makes it so much easier to get them out of the pan. We're going to spread it into each of the corners. And the thing I really love about this Blondie recipe is that because there's less of the sweeteners, there's less of a cooling effect. And when they come out of the oven, they tend to be nice and like a gooey sort of a, you know, like the gooey brownies. Some people like them cakey, some people like them fudgy. Well, these are more on the fudgy or the gooey spectrum, I guess you could say. So there are our pumpkin Blondies. I'm going to put these in the oven for 30 minutes, and then those will be done. And I have so much fun stuff to show you. 30 minutes. I went to this jumbo Bristol Farms in my neighborhood, and they have like end caps and areas that were fully devoted to keto. So I'm going to show you some fun products that you can buy or find that are ready-made. So if you don't want to make this stuff, you can buy them. Now, you will pay a premium. They are much more expensive for all these little things that you can buy. But if you don't want to make stuff and you don't want to clean it up, I know that's a huge problem for lots of people, but it is what it is. Okay, so we're going to put this one here. We'll get the oven going. So this chili dog chili is a little bit of a take on my big beef chili. I wanted to be able to make a chili dog that is almost more like a stew. So I've got my heavy cast iron pan here. We're going to put just a little bit of olive oil in, and we're going to add, this is where I'm going to get it nice and chunky because we're obviously not adding beans. So we're going to add bell pepper, onion, garlic, and celery. And we're going to get those going here, and we're going to soften those up in our pan. We'll get those nice and soft. Whoops, dropped something. And while those are going, I'm going to show you some of the things that I got at the supermarket the other day. I absolutely love when you guys ping me and you're like, have you tried this? Have you seen this? And people send me pictures of labels all the time. And so it's fun for me because I get to see what else is out there. Interesting thing happened to me. I was on my walk a couple of days ago, And around town, I live in Santa Monica, I always see this truck that has this big thing on the side that says Keto Crisp. And whenever I'm driving, I'm like honking. I'm trying to figure out who it is. I'm trying to figure out, I've never seen this product. And as I'm on my walk the other day, I see this guy walking his dog, and he's got a baseball cap on backwards with Keto Crisp on the back of it. So I pull over, or I, stop my walk, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second? And I said, your hat, is that your company? And he was like, yeah, it's me and my brother. So he and his brother started a company. I'm just going to let this get nice and soft. Well, I'm going to let it start doing its thing. They started a company, and I just talked to him that one time, and I need to follow up with him. But they started a company called Keto Crisp. You can see that. This one is the almond butter, and this one is the chocolate mint. And his brother drives the truck around, has cerebral palsy, and he's in a wheelchair. And he started keto and lost 60 pounds, and it has absolutely changed his life. So they started this company, and so these are things that you can get ready-made in a supermarket. This one's an almond butter. It's 10 grams of protein and only 4 grams net carb. And this one is chocolate mint, and this one's 5 grams net carb. So those are just, things that you can, if you want to grab and go on the road. And we'll have Peter taste test these, because I'm not eating any sweets right now. We'll have him taste test these and tell us how they taste. We'll give this a little stir here, get these nice and soft. To our bell pepper, onion, celery, and garlic. Once those start softening up, we are going to add a pound of ground beef, a pound of sausage, and a bunch of seasonings, and then we'll get it all sort of mixed together and sort of doing its thing. Okay, another thing that I found at the supermarket, and I was actually starving at the checkout counter, and these beef sticks, they're by a company called Country Archer. I had the habanero one, and these are only 1 gram net carb, no sugar added, and these are great on the go little snacks that you can get that they're dairy free and they're low carb and, kind of something fun to try. Oh, Donna is from Southern California. So Donna, you might be able to find these. I hope you guys check those out. I wanted to show you one more thing that I found, and then we'll get the meats going. But I had to keep this in my freezer. So one of my best childhood friends, she's like my sister, she always sends stuff to me. She and her brother always send stuff to me. So I found these cauliflower pizza crusts. And this gal who makes these, it has her little story on the back. She has lupus, and so she went to a low-carb keto-style diet, and it really helped her. But the thing, I haven't had this yet. I just found it in Whole Foods. It was relatively expensive, but it's pre-made, and it's only 1 gram net carb for 1/3 of the entire pie. So most of the cauliflower crusts I see are like, 6 to 12 carbs for a slice. This is 1/3 of the crust for 1 gram net carbs. So we're going to be trying some of these. If you don't want to make fathead dough, you can make this one. So if you can find it, I think it has 2 pizzas in it, and it was like $12. So not cheap, but if they're $6 each and you're feeding a family of 4, that you could really kind of have a nice little dinner here with a salad or, whatever. Add a bunch of veg and stuff to the top of your pizza. Okay, our veg is starting to nice and soften. We'll get that going. I have a pound of Butcher Box ground beef. Love my Butcher Box. If you guys don't know about Butcher Box, it is a meat delivery subscription. I get it about once a month, maybe once every 10 weeks. And I love their baby back ribs, their bacon, and their ground beef. It's great. And then this is the other brand that I just get in my regular supermarket. This is Italian sausage. I just use the mild version in my chili because I'm going to add lots of spice in my season packet there. So, and I'm going to use my famous masher. And I'm going to, this is my masher. You guys remember that? I love my masher. I just got this on Amazon for like $12. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called a Smashola. People get it from like the Pampered Chef. I just got it off of Amazon. And I love it. I use it all the time. Here, let me show. I got to show you. YouTube gets no love. I'm sorry, YouTube. Okay, so I'm just going to mash that ground beef all into my softened vegetables, and we're going to start to get that nice and brown, but I'm really going to cook the chili in the juices of the tomato sauce, the tomato paste, and the beef broth. So we're going to get that going here for a second. In my spices, so you can make this as spicy or as, oh, Kathy, do you have that Smashola? We love it. It's the best. I should probably get a second or third one because I love it so much. I don't know. I think it's called a Smashola. Anyways, so in my spices, you can make your chili as spicy or as mild as you like. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm going to start with 2 tonight just because I can always add more. And if it's too hot, then, you know, I can't give it to my parents or I can't give it to people that don't really like spicy stuff. So we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of chili powder. We've got paprika, salt, cumin, oregano. What else do I have in here? I forget. I have so much stuff. Salt, chili powder, cumin, paprika, oregano. I think that covers it. So we're going to put that all in there. And we will just continue mashing it all together. I put whole garlic cloves in here. So with my masher, I'm going to mash all these up. And I'm perfectly fine mashing all of the vegetables as well. If you guys have any questions, I know I talk a mile a minute and I'm kind of focusing on this stuff. But if you have any questions, please just put them in the comments. And if I get to them at the end of our conversation here, I will. If I don't, and after I get off camera with you guys, I'll go back and answer any questions you might have because I don't always see them all. And I want to be able to sort of help you guys, guide you along. Okay, so we're getting it all sort of cooked together. I'm going to add a can, 28 ounces of diced tomatoes in their juice. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my tomato paste. Now, I think I showed this to you guys last time. I get tomato paste in the can, but I also get it in this tube right here when I can find it, because when I use a can, I usually only use like a tablespoon or 2, and then I hate sticking the can in my fridge. So I like to get it in the tube, but sometimes I can't always find it. But we're going to do 2 tablespoons of tomato paste right into our mixture, into our chili. You're probably wondering where my dogs are. Don't worry, those are coming. So we're going to continue mixing this around. The recipe also calls for beef broth. Now, this chili, the longer you let it sit, the more the juices will reduce down. So because we're going to be serving this over Chaffles with our chili dog, I don't want to be too wet, but I have, the recipe calls for 1 cup of beef broth. I'm just going to give a splash right now, and then we're going to cover this and let it sit. Whoops, I forgot. We're going to add the chili. We're going to add the hot dogs in a second. The hot dogs are already fully cooked. Most hot dogs come fully cooked. We're just going to put them in here to heat them up with the rest of our items. Oh my God, this is looking so delicious. And so it's simmering all together, and the longer it simmers, the softer our vegetables are going to be. It's almost like a sloppy Joe, but with a chili flavor. So these are the hot dogs that I like to use. I use either the Applegate Farms or I use Hebrew National all beef hot dogs. These are uncured. They're grass-fed, no antibiotics, no fillers, no sugar. When I put this recipe into my nutrition calculator, the general hot dog that is out there might have carbs in it. So when I first did this nutrition calculation, it came back much higher carb because it calculated it using regular hot dogs. Well, when you calculate it with hot dogs that have 0 carbs or very low carbs, it cuts the carb count way down. So I'm gonna just chop up my hot dogs. You can leave your hot dogs whole if you want, or you can chop them up. I'm going to chop them up because we'd like to have this either as like a stew, or we just put it over the Chaffles. And tonight we're going to put it over the Chaffles so you guys can see what that looks like. Put my knife away there. But it's really up to you. You know, some people will want to pick the hot dog out, or some people will want more hot dogs, whatever it might be. Each hot dog pack comes with 6 hot dogs in it. And again, these are Applegate Farms. I think I got, you know, I like to buy them in bulk, and I like to buy them on sale. So that's, and you can, you know, try and be fancy, and you can go on the bias. So we're trying to zhuzh up a very basic family meal. You cut them on a bias so they look a little fancier, and we'll put those into our chili. So we'll let them simmer, and we'll let them all get the flavors all sort of melded in together, and then we'll get started on our Chaffles. So we've moved all of the hot dogs into the chili mixture. Oh my gosh, I gotta get a picture of this. This is fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna let this simmer. And we're gonna let all those flavors come together and render down and thicken up a little bit. So we'll let that simmer for a little bit while we're doing our Chaffles. Okay. I am a crazy lady, so I have 2 of these little mini Dash waffle makers. They're only $9 on Amazon, or you can get them at Target. And I have 2 just to make the process go a little bit faster. And I like to make a little bit, what's a chaffle? Oh, Cabby, how could you not know what a chaffle is? Okay, so a chaffle is kind of like bread replacement. And it's made in this little, I'd pick it up, but it's super hot right now. It's this little, let's see if I can. It's a little tiny waffle maker. It's called a Dash waffle maker. And you can get them online at Amazon.com. Sorry, I'm sweating. It's a little hot here. And a chaffle is, I'm making a double recipe. That's why this is a little bit bigger. So it's a half a cup of mozzarella cheese. I know we talked about cheese earlier today, but it's a half a cup of mozzarella cheese, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of almond flour, and whatever seasonings you want. If you want to go savory, you can add garlic powder or oregano or rosemary. A couple weeks ago, I made churro chaffles. So there was like a cinnamon sugar thing that we did. Next week, we're going to probably do pumpkin spice chaffles. So you can kind of make these however you want, and they kind of are like a bread substitute. They're a little bit crunchy and a little bit chewy, and they come together really fast in our little mini Dash waffle makers. And I have 2 because they take about 4 minutes. And I'm making a double batch so that I can have extras for leftovers. Someone said to me today, I got a note saying, what do you do with all of that food you make? Because I know it seems like I'm cooking all the time. Let me be clear. I am not cooking all the time. I love to cook, but we are big on leftovers. So I freeze a lot of the items that I make. If I make a quiche, we'll eat it for dinner, we'll eat it for leftovers, and then I'll freeze about 1/3 of it for another meal later on. Whenever I make soups, I freeze half of it so that I'm not always cooking, because cooking is cleaning and shopping and planning. So I like to do a little, I guess you could call it batch cooking, but I just make whatever I make, and then I freeze half of it so that I can save it for later. Okay, so I've got my egg, my mozzarella cheese, my almond flour, and I've got some garlic powder and a little bit of salt in here. This is a double recipe, so this will make 4 chaffles, okay? So we're gonna do we're gonna do 1 in each of these for about 4 minutes. And these have been really a game changer. I did not want to buy another gadget for my kitchen. I have a very small kitchen and I have enough gadgets, but I bit the bullet because this was so little and I love it so much that we use it almost weekly. So those are going to go for about 4 minutes. On top of our, just give this a little stir. On top of our chili dog chaffles, we will add cheese, sour cream, maybe some jalapeno slices, and cheese, sour cream, jalapeno slices, a little bit of cilantro. So you really can make a meal out of this. And anytime I chop any of those items up, the cilantro or the jalapenos, I chop extra and I put it in Ziploc bags. I swear to God that I am probably keeping Ziploc in business because I use a lot of Ziploc bags, and I do a lot of freezing of stuff. Okay, so that is going to keep doing its thing. Let me check on our pumpkin blondies because those should be done in about 5 minutes, and then we will check those out. Wow. Oh, so delicious. Okay, let me show you something else that last week we made my keto chocolate bars. Yeah, that's what they're called. Well, they're kind of like keto crunch bars or keto chocolate bars, but I didn't have them done, and I just wanted to show you. This is what a keto chocolate bar. So I've got sunflower seeds and almonds and coconut and Lily's chocolates and a little bit of, I think, peanut butter in there. And those go in my freezer. Each one of these is about 3 or 4 grams grams net carbs. And these are a great little like late night treat for my Peter. He can enjoy those. And I had one more product that I wanted to show you. None of these people, pay me to do any of this. I just find these things And I want to share them with you because I'm always looking for, you know, fun, innovative ways. Okay, people are always asking for breakfast. Like, what do you do for breakfast? What do you do for the crunch? So this product I found, it's called Pro Granola. This is the espresso. They have like 4 other flavors. It's very expensive. This bag was like $15, but it has such a great crunch. And you can put this over yogurt. You can put this with some almond milk. And it's sweetened with monk fruit, egg whites, and protein powder. And it's really, really, really good. And so this company right here, it's called Julian Bakery Pro Granola. It gets a thumbs up from me. I really love it. Super crunchy and very, very delicious. Okay, let's check on our Chaffles. Ooh, happy. I can't believe you've never had a Chaffle before. Let's get these out of here. And then we'll get our second. So for dinner tonight, Peter's going to get this with the chili dog chili over this. So we're just going to let these cool over here. And then I'm going to do the other half of my Chaffles. I didn't measure them out as perfectly as I'd like, so I actually am going to come out with 5 because this is a little bit extra. And there you go. All right, let's see if anybody has any questions. Where did you purchase the granola? Okay, so in my town, I live in Santa Monica, West Los Angeles. I found that Pro Granola in the supermarket called Bristol Farms. And it's a jumbo Bristol Farms. And it's expensive. It's an expensive store. But it just felt like they had so many keto options, keto-ready options. So Bristol Farms is where I got it. I'm sure you could get it. Where is it? I'm sure you can go online. It's called Julian Bakery Pro Granola. The espresso cluster has a little bit of a coffee flavor, but I know that it comes in like vanilla blueberry, and I think it comes in chocolate mint. Anyways, that's where I got this one. I have a new product coming in the mail to make Rice Krispie treats. It is also made of protein. It's called Protein Puff. And I wish that I had it today, but it's arriving tomorrow, so I'll be able to show you. I have been using the product for over a year now. I went to their shop on the way to see new. Go to the website. Oh, look at this, Bernice. She's got some info for us. Let's see. So I think Bernice, are you talking about Julian Bakery? Because I think they are in San Diego. They are. They're in Oceanside. So if you live in Southern California, you can go to their bakery and you can get some. Or you can just go to julianbakery.com, I think is what it is. Yeah, julianbakery.com, and you can order some. I highly recommend this. This has a little bit of a coffee flavor. Check out what other flavors they have, and you can just go and order it directly from there. I would be remiss if I did not mention Rosette's Mix, Rosette's Baked Goods. It is pumpkin season, and right now Rosette has, our Chaffles are getting ready. Rosette has pumpkin spice cake mix. So if you want pumpkin spice stuff and you don't want to make the things like that I'm making here, go to Rosette's Mix. Right now it is pumpkin spice season, so she has those things ready to ship. And oh gosh, these Chaffles look so perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna let those cool a little bit, and as they cool, they'll crisp up. Oh, somebody lives in Texas. Oh yeah, you can just go online this is the greatest thing about, you know, being online. You can just type in and find it and shop for it. Okay, so I'm going to do this last chaffle. Our pumpkin blondies are almost done. And as this is doing its thing, our chaffles are going to crisp up a little bit. Our chili dog chili is nice and hearty. Now, because we're doing this all in, you know, like one night, we just want to get dinner on the table, it is a little bit brothy. The longer you let it simmer here, the thicker it will get. And quite frankly, you don't even need to add the broth if you don't want to. But the longer you let it sit here, the thicker it will actually get. So it's super hot right now, but I want to just taste for seasoning. It is starting to actually get a little thicker. Let's just see what we've got going here. Oh, someone loves my aprons. Where do I get them from? I wish I could say that I was an avid shopper for aprons. They are given to me mostly by my mother. And so I don't really buy any of them on my own. My mom gets them for me, and I love them. Okay, that chili dog chili is so delicious. And quite frankly, it's spicy enough. It'll mellow out as you let it cook longer and longer, but it's like the perfect spiciness. You get the flavor of the sausage in there, and you'll have the hot dogs and all of the stuff there. So as soon as our last chaffle is done, we're going to plate one up so we can show you what it looks like. I was organized tonight, and I got this set up for you. I'm going to give Peter two, but I'm just going to have one. Somebody asked me the other day, like, how can I eat all this food? I don't eat all this food. I do not eat all this food. I make a lot of food, and I make a lot of desserts. But on keto, you have to be careful with all of the desserts. You have to, you know, it's like you have them occasionally, but all of the desserts that I make, I give a lot of them away, and I have a lot of taste testers. If you live in Southern California and you want to taste anything, please let me know, because I'm always making new stuff, and I need some taste testers out there. So I don't eat everything, but I freeze it, and anyways, that's that. Guess what? Our pumpkin blondies are ready. Yay! Okay. Let's get this out of the way. I'm going to show you my pumpkin blondies. Yum, yum, yum. Ah, you guys, I am in heaven. It smells so good. Okay, I am just going to do just a few little extra white chocolate chips right on top. Someone just asked what part of California I live in. I live in Southern California. I live in Santa Monica, right by the beach. And I was born and raised here and only lived away for a little bit of time. And I hope to never leave. I hope to stay here forever. My family's here, and yeah, I'm pretty happy just staying here. Okay, so there are our pumpkin blondies with white chocolate chips. These are low carb Lily's white chocolate chips. The other brands are Chalk Zero and Let's Bake Believe. So there you go. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Okay, so these are going to cool, and once these are cooled, I can cut these into 16 bars. So we'll just put those off to the side. We're going to take our last chaffle out of our chaffle maker. And let's show you guys what our hearty chili dog. Look at that. Got a couple extra chunks of the hot dog right on top. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of cheddar cheese. Again, I would add a little bit of, I wasn't as organized as I like to be, but I would add a little bit of sour cream to this. I would add some cilantro. I would add some chopped onions. It makes it for a super hearty meal. And because you have the chaffle there, you almost feel like you're eating a real chili dog. You guys, this was so much fun. I'm not sure if I don't think I got everybody's questions, but oh, thanks, Call. You like my new haircut? Ah, it's fun. I'm getting used to it. Yeah, it was a chop. You guys, if you don't know me, I've had long hair for all my life or most of my life, and I chopped it all off. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Like and subscribe and share and do all those things that people do on social media. I'm not always so great with that sort of stuff, but thank you for joining me. And let me know if you have any questions or if you have any comments, and I'll go back and answer any questions or comments in the feed after we finish dinner because I'm hungry. Okay, bye guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week. Bye.